Anybody who saw Department, their first question is, it doesn't look like an RGV film. I had a terrible experience, and the mistake I made was to basically take Sanjay Dutt into the film. Just things went haywire, and I lost interest in the film. In fact, I don't want to see his face, that's what I meant. It's not like it's news to me that Sanjay Dutt is like this. Enough people are aware, and a lot of films have suffered because of that. Reviewers are more creative than actual filmmakers. They'll find the most innovative ways of screwing a film. Nobody would have ever heard me blaming an individual for a film. Having said that, if people choose to believe, it's fine. If they don't also, I'm fine. I said what I had to say.
Okay, if Ram Gopal Verma ki Aag was an X-ray of RGV's brain, Department is an MRI scan of all his soft tissues, brain, heart and other vital parts. We can clearly see which ones are functioning and which ones have atrophied. This review, it ends with this thing that yet Department is important because it is a story from a genius in decay. We have with us Ram Gopal Verma once again. A pleasure having you back on Bollywood Hungama. How do you react to this particular review? And there have been, generally the reviews have not been very positive for the film.
See, the point is, I honestly feel, I'm not trying to say everyone has a right to an opinion. Not only for my films, reviewers are more creative than actual filmmakers because they'll find the most innovative ways of screwing a film in terms of what is bad or whatever they feel about it, So long since I actually stopped, because the review thing is a different art form, I would say, like to believe, I'm seeing people disliking it or having problems with it in whichever direction and all that. Yes, that's a democratic country, and everyone has a right and everyone has a means, especially in the Twitter times and the media network being so popular. Now, the point is, when you're asking me for reaction, what do you think? It is an opinion someone expressed, and I gave whatever reasons I had to in the course of my discussions post the release. So then it's up to a question of whether people will choose to believe it or not. I mean, I said what I had to say, so I don't think there's nothing more for me to say as far as why the film is the way it is.
But Mr. Verma, at the same time, you understand box office, you've had some big hits as well. Now, there will be expectations from you. General opinion is that why is Mr. Verma not realizing that maybe there are certain things that he's not doing right? The rogue methodology jo aapka tha, it has failed. People have not appreciated that. One reviewer has said that ek bhi single frame jo hai wo still nahi tha film ke andar.
To start with, I do not believe, you see, just because I said there's a rogue methodology, people started seeing it in that point of view. Now, what is a rogue method? See, eventually it's the cameras. You're using multiple camera setups, which is the world over. I did not invent it. Now, there are certain things where these rapid panning movements or probably movement perspectives which have not been seen before, and sometimes there's a jerky effect of the camera, which has been deliberately done to use it in a certain way. Sure. I don't think there are more than 8 to 10 shots like that. But just the fact that you're looking at it in that perspective, in a 2-hour, 20-minute film, except for a couple of montages in the beginning and some of these 8 to 10 shots, even if I had to stretch my memory, I don't think it's more than that. Okay. The rogue method, first of all, I don't know if anybody understood what the rogue method is. In terms of you're using multiple cameras and you're making them consistent in the DA, and if I change the tone, it's a decision which I could have done with a normal camera also. Yes, there are people who reacted, like I myself said in an earlier interview, when Natural Born Killers was made, people reacted very violently. If you see the reviews of Natural Born Killers, they're as bad as what the Department reviews are about. But later on, much ahead, it was discovered and it was called a cult film. Great. So whether Department will be called or not, it's not for me to say, not at this time at least. So I'm saying the content being liked or not liked is different from the rogue. First of all, let me tell you what is a single film in history of cinema where technique was criticized. I mean, the way the reviews are written for Department for the technique, I think this will be the first of its film so far.
Fair enough. Mr. Verma, the thing is, you have an opinion about the critics. That is okay. Many a times, I think critics, they have a group of their own and they write for 50, 60 people. But at the same time, jo ek aam janta hai, the common man, even the common man has rejected the film. Somewhere at the level of story and the concept, somewhere the film is not working. Your films have worked tremendously in the past. Be it a Rangila, be it a Satya, Company, Sarkar, Bhoot. There are many films of yours which have worked like anything. Even Department mein bhi sir punches hain. Jo Mr. Bachchan ka jo character hai and the entire characterization, the way it happens and his dialogues and all. There are moments in the first half, as far as Mr. Bachchan is concerned, which really brings in the audience. I've seen with the audience and I can relate to it. So in that context, certain cheezein hain, lekin shayad otherwise the story is not working as well.
See, coming to the content of what we're discussing just now, I said it on my Twitter and I gave an interview to a newspaper. See, it's not about blaming someone, but as a director, I need to put out what happened behind the scenes as a maker. It's not the first time I made a film which was not liked. In 22 years of my career, I have never ever blamed anyone outside except myself for any film I've done, no matter, including
You accept the blame for this movie?
No.
You don't?
Only this film I don't.
Why?
Halfway through, and if you're made to change the script and using various coercive forces, and where I lose objectivity, and anybody who saw Department, their first question is, it doesn't look like an RGV film. I mean, even my bad film will have my stamp. Okay, this is RGV film, it's not working. Nothing in Department looks like my film, the way I made it. I mean, I will make it normally, in terms of my sensibility or whatever, especially in the genre film, like dealing with the so-called cops and gangsters. So I had a terrible experience. The mistake I made was to basically take Sanjay Dutt into the film. From then onwards, once the film started, halfway through, just things went haywire and I lost interest in the film and I was just going across emotions to do the picture.
But even Sanjay Dutt has things to say that he doesn't want to even shake hands with you.
Yeah, fine. I'll be very, very happy. In fact, I don't want to see his face. That's what I meant. I'll be supremely mad. In fact, I think anybody will be mad, not only me, to do anything with Sanjay Dutt. Anyway, I'm not talking about what he thinks about me, what I think about him. I'm only giving an explanation. But my point here is, 20 years of my, there are so many films which haven't worked of mine at the box office, but nobody would have ever heard me blaming an individual for a film. It's the first time I've done. Having said that, if people choose to believe, it's fine. If they don't also, I'm fine. I said what I had to say.
You've said that Kangana was removed at the behest of Sanjay Dutt. At the same time, Dharam Oberoi, Sanjay Dutt's personal manager and friend and all, I think he had a lot of role to play as well. There were rumors before the film released that all is not well between you and Sanjay Dutt. But at that point of time, you had snapped and you had said that it's not a proper job.
Eventually, I'm also on a professional level, I'm committed. If some people keep on saying that, eventually I had to retain the integrity of the film. And if I am at the helm of affairs, being in the position of the director, the so-called director, so I think it's not ethical from my side to the people who are involved in the picture, the distributors or investors or Viacom, and all these people are my responsibility. So I can't speak when the film is being made in a negative way about anything what is happening behind the scenes.
Okay, and you have also not happy with the Abhishek that he asked you to just take in Sanjay Dutt?
Yeah, that's said in just fun, because obviously, see, the point is, it's not like it's news to me that Sanjay Dutt is like this. Enough people are aware, and a lot of films have suffered because of that. But against a better judgment, when Abhishek kind of says, Ramu, I think you should take Sanjay Dutt for this role, and it just happened, and I got carried away, and after that Abhishek couldn't do, and then I got left with him.
You're saying about the coercive methods adapted by Sanjay Dutt and Dharam Oberoi and how the script was changed. But at the same time, he has issues about the 5D cameras that, there's a joke doing the round by why Sanjay Dutt is upset with RGV is because he showed him the angles and the angles showed him in his paunch, in fact. And that is something which is not flattering for any hero. That is one of the grouses that he has.
Why would a camera can cover what is there in the person? Eventually it will record what is in front of it. The camera cannot change. What you can do, you can use CG to change it, probably to tone the bodies down and all that. So that is not the function of any camera. And to start with, this is not a film where it is going to highlight the glamour of a person. This is a genre film. Now, as far as his things are concerned, okay, I can understand anybody being concerned with a new technology which is being adopted, which is also the case. With Rana had concerns. Of course, Mr. Bachchan has concerns, but once they saw, now I said, one is the cameras, and second is the movements which are used, like I explained earlier. Obviously, it looks very this thing to which everybody said it. End of the day, the cameras which are used in terms of the resolution, I am not the first guy to use it. They've been under use for nearly 2 to 3 years, and widely used. The 2K camera has been widely used even in Slumdog Millionaire, which got the Oscar. So cinematography is different from the usage how I did in terms of rapid movements. The reviews are mentioning that. They say it created dizziness.
Mr. Verma, you have an absolute disregard for the convention. That is fair enough. That is a context that you have in mind.
I didn't see that. That is the wrong word.
I'll give you one more example. As far as the dubbing of the film is concerned, okay, in the second half, there's one particular scene when Mr. Bachchan and Rana, they're having a conversation amongst themselves, and the dubbing is in sync sound in that way. Now, it looks a bit odd. It looks a bit odd from what it is in the earlier part of it.
That was also because of a certain reason it happened, because Mr. Bachchan was not well at the time, and this also, in spite of him not being well, with great difficulty, were concerned, he managed to finish the dub. That particular scene, which had lots of laughter, spontaneous laughter, which would have been difficult for him to recreate in the dubbing, it would create a lot of stress on what he was feeling at that time. That's the reason we took a decision to let it go.
As it is.
As it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're saying about Sanjay Dutt and all the things in terms of script and everything, but still people will say that what was the need for you to just focus on the hips of Madhu Shalini swaying, because people have laughed at it. She's swaying her hips, and generally her character has come in for quite criticism, the way she says baby and the entire interaction between Abhimanyu.
See, the point is that all the characters were created with a certain graphic comic book tone, which is always I said. Now the point is, when it doesn't work, everything comes across the thing, and it's not like as if other filmmakers, they are not showing a woman, and it is her sensuality, it is the relationship between DK and Nasir, which has a certain the sexual undertone, which of course the camera will highlight at that point.